Bom, 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 bom. Bom, 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 bom. Bwah, 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 bwah. I hope I got a layer for this. Bwah, bom, 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 bom. Bwah, 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 bwah. Of all the Marvel theme songs, that's probably got to be one of my favorites. Hello, guys. This is the Sunday night stream on the Cartoon-Palooza, and look at that. I did not give it a separate layer. This is what happens. This isn't good. So there's a little trick I came up with in Procreate where you want to delete something. All you got to do is just bring it to the corner of the screen. You click off the select item. You click back onto it, and then look at that. It crops it out. Crazy, right? So I haven't checked out the what shall I call it, the chat to see if anybody's watching right now, but this is the Sunday night stream where, as requested by one of the viewers, I will be drawing the Marvel characters in release of Marvel's The Avengers Infinity War. And you may get a review. That's right. You may get a 2-for-1 special in these long streams where I will talk about my thoughts on Infinity Wars. I will say this. I saw the movie twice. Why I saw it twice? You may find out. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and start with drawing 3 of the characters. Now I chose 3 of them for reference, 3 that I don't draw as often. To be fair, I do draw the Hulk a lot, but I think it's only fair in relation to size to actually include a reference image. Now there's a whole debate on whether or not people should use reference images versus live images, and I think it's helpful. I think it is fair to make a drawing using reference because it allows you as the artist to tell what it is you're looking at. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check to see if anybody is watching this, where I can view this, because it seems like I'm having a hard time finding the stream on YouTube. So let me go ahead, check that out, see if where we're at. We have 15 people watching, and look at that. We already got everybody watching. Hello, 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 everybody. Look at that. Look at that. And we already got questions. Already got questions going about. But in the meantime, before I start answering questions, let's actually focus on the drawing. So as I was talking about before, it is good to have reference drawings, especially for things you don't draw that often. Now, there's a whole debate on whether or not you should use reference images versus live drawings. But to be fair, I think it's kind of pointless. Why I say that? Because, one, I think it helps to so what you're probably asking me right now, I'm sorry my mind is all over the place. I've been coming down with a slight allergy, so if I sound a little confused, that's because I'm got some allergies going on here. But I like to draw with a big, what shall I call it here, very vague big shapes as a start. Just to get an idea of size, I'm going to have Cap stand next here. You know what, though? Probably be best for me to focus one character at a time. So you're probably wondering, you're probably thinking, why do I got this big blob over here? Well, that's because I like to do an underline drawing that's very big and very funky. And it helps me get an idea of composition, which is a very important thing. to utilize when drawing. So I normally like starting off with the head before going on to the rest of the body. I'm going to draw in big, loose shapes. So the upper body is always going to be a big circular-like torso. Not torso, circular chest. It's a little barrel type chest guy going over here. This is the torso, the pelvis area, which foreshortening, he's not all stretched out here. The legs are going to be foreshortened. You're not going to see the whole leg. This is important because a lot of people mess up on their proportions. And I think this is where reference drawings versus live drawings come into play. I don't think it matters, but for this reason alone, I think it does, which is why I think you should know anatomy before drawing off of images. Because the key is that items are in 3 dimensions. You have to draw in 3 dimensions. You have to always think about how this is going to look in 3 dimensions versus a single type image, like, you know, a flat image, because your proportions are going to be messed up. Like, for example, this foot I'm drawing is hard for me to visualize in 3 dimensions. That's why I don't put a lot of focus or attention. And that's the beauty of this layer. That's the beauty of this underlying layer. I love how everybody sees my hand going over my face. But that's the beauty of having an underlying layer like this. Now, the hard thing for me is I don't draw Iron Man in this pose a lot. In fact, I don't really draw Iron Man that much. I think it's because, as a character, I've never really been a fan of Iron Man. And I think it has to do with his personality. For years, I never liked that Tony Stark was kind of an a-hole. Now, that seems to be the recurring thing about the Marvel heroes, is that they like to focus on the negative aspects of them and whatnot. I don't know. I think it's different for the movies, though, because Iron Man was the big hit to get everybody started, to get everybody on this bandwagon. Iron Man, in order for the MCU to work, Iron Man had to be a hit, and it was. So, I was a junior in high school when Iron Man first came out. And everybody loved it. And, you know, there was a specific audience that movie had that I didn't think about, or I always thought about, and it was the engineers. Iron Man was for a lot of engineers. And when I went to college, I went to a college with a lot of engineers. Drexel was known for their engineering program. Everybody loved Tony Stark. Everybody wanted to be like Tony Stark because he represented a cool, hip, smart businessman / geek. Except he wasn't a geek, but he was as smart as a geek. So you see, I kind of messed up here. So the center line is going to have to be lower because he's looking down. So I'm going to have to erase this. Wonder what's going on here. Let me know if everybody can still see this stream. If not, I'll probably have to reconnect to the internet. Let's see here. Okay, looks like we're still live. It's just we're having a hard time connecting to on my computer. It's hard for me. It looks like I'm disconnected in the internet on my computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check and read the comments through my phone and not my computer. if I can get it to come up. Open in Safari. Wish it would have give me an option to open this on my top chat. Here we go. Okay, yep, the chat's still working. Bebe Kid Critic. I know I'm not supposed to be reading all the comments right now, but this one did catch my attention, and it is worth talking about. I do want to talk about the Iron Spider suit, but let me go ahead and finish talking about the about Iron Man. Iron Man represented for a lot of geeks, at least engineers, being cool and hip. He also has the most simple face ever. I love how simple his face is. It's like, yep, I don't even need to do another layer for this because this is Iron Man's face. It is so simple. Arc reactor. Now, Iron Man seems like a complicated character, but if you get down to the very basics, you know, you don't have to go overboard with it. So that's going to be my Iron Man drawing. He's going to stand in the forefront. I'll do another layer with him. Let's go ahead and start drawing Captain America. Let's hide him for now. Make a separate layer for Cap, which is going to be pretty easy because he's standing. I'm going to have him stand. I'm not going to have him in a battle pose because to me, he does have this dignified pose, just standing regularly, you know. I know I'm technically not drawing the Infinity War version of Cap, but it works. But I mean, there really isn't any much to say about Captain America as a character. I feel like the movies do him justice. But I do want to talk about the Iron Spider suit. So in case anybody doesn't know... Ooh, I got boobs. I did the Jim Lee mistake. I hope any geeks caught that reference, what I was talking about with Jim Lee drawing. Or I think Liefeld. No, Liefeld did the Captain America boobs. Okay, anyways, distracted again. So, Iron Spider suit was an Iron Man suit that Tony Stark made for Spider-Man. The reason being, I can't remember yet, but all I know is that in one storyline for Spider-Man dies. And I know what you're thinking. Oh no, Spider-Man dies? Like, no, in the comics, Spider-Man dies like as often as Jean Grey. Like, the only person who dies but stays dead in Spider-Man is probably Uncle Ben. Everybody who dies on a Spider-Man comic somehow comes back. Like, I'm talking like Spider-Man loses his consciousness, has it transplanted in another guy's body, and yet he still manages to come back to life. Like, there you go. I know I'm cheating a little. I'm not doing the head, but I felt like I wanted to put in where the shield was going to be. So, should be looking straight, which means his chest is over here. Maybe look down. Definitely head's not going to look like that. I'm probably going to do another underlying drawing for this one. But long story short, Spider-Man dies. Iron Man builds him a new suit to accommodate new powers he gets when he comes back to life. The reason he dies is that there was a vampire named Morlun. I think that's the vampire's name. Someone can correct me on this. And named Morlun. I don't think I need this layer anymore. Who kills Spider-Man, but technically puts him in sort of like a coma, and he gains new powers. And I don't think he even has these powers anymore as a result of One More Day, another infamously bad comic that nowadays doesn't get the hate it used to get back in the day. Like, long story short, Spider-Man had new powers. Tony Stark recognized this. He made him a suit to accommodate the new powers he got. And one of those cool things in the Iron Spider suit, which is different from the movie's Iron Spider suit, is that he can make these giant spider arms appear on his back, and it was really cool. And I think this was the first time we really saw this in a Spider-Man costume. Just for comparison's sake, I'm going to see how this is going to look here. Okay, so we're probably going to have to make this guy a little bit smaller. I have a stand here. And maybe a little taller. Probably, you know what? We're probably going to have to make Iron Man a little bit taller too. Or just taller in general. Let me go ahead and slide. Ooh, get back there. Get back. Make Iron Man a little taller.